What is up, athletes? In this video, you're gonna learn how Tate added 20 miles per hour to his serve in just 3 days. When he first came to us, he was averaging about 70 to 80 miles per hour on his serve. So our goal was to bump up that power while also increasing the smoothness and fluidity of his overall swing. So we got straight to work, starting with the initial video diagnosis. So the first thing that I want you to try to note here is that at contact, if we drew a line directly down, it's roughly just a few inches in front of the baseline. You actually ideally are making contact like half a foot to like even a foot. Like Kyrgios, if you look at him, he's actually making contact like 3 feet into the court. Wow. So I think ideally you're somewhere in between, maybe like half a foot into the court, like maybe 1 foot into the court. Okay. We got to experiment a little bit there. Yeah. But this is going to be a big part because the result of making contact a little bit too far behind you is that your torso is actually in a more upright position versus leaning forward. Exactly.
Okay.
So
I never thought about the torso that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, that totally makes sense because it doesn't make sense that you could throw really far, like totally stiff like that.
Yeah. Even if you look at like baseball pitchers, after they release, they're like all the way in this position where they're leaning. Now to get that full 20 mile per hour increase, we also worked on things like the toss, contact point tweaking, and what we call the full body kinetic chain activation. And we'll dive into that more on days 2 and 3. But our first focus for day 1 was to add more fluidity to that swing by using what we call the universal throwing motion. Here's how that breaks down. The universal throwing motion starts with the body loaded and the hitting arm cocked in this position where it's bent and drawn away from the body. Now, as you rotate your body, this is gonna cause your arm to flip back, and following this, your arm straightens out and rotates back in at the very last second. And as the name suggests, the universal throwing motion is something you'll see across all of the best athletes, specifically where this rapid overhead throwing motion is required. So to kick things off, here are a few drills we use to help Tate develop that new swing into his serve. So we're doing a few shadow swings from here. Yeah, drop the arm when it's dropping, pull the elbow up, lead the edge, drop the ball, and then turn the ball. Good. Nice.
Feels better because it's looser.
Yeah.
Like you can do it for a lot longer.
From here, we started loosening that shoulder with the Sock Infinity Swing Drill. Now, if you took our Serve Power Challenge, you'll remember that this was one of the first drills we used to unlock that fluid swing. And after the shoulder was loose, we grabbed our rackets and did the same thing. Okay, so we covered the basic throwing motion. Now I want you to try to apply it to an actual throw. So I'm gonna be on the other side. I want you to do a few swings here. Remember, as the sock drops down, you're pulling the elbow up and then you're just releasing it forward. Do that about 2 times, and then I want you to release it and then throw it. Nice. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. Try to feel your arm is relaxed when you're doing this. It's here, you're pulling the elbow up, and as a natural result, the elbow is extending. Pull the elbow up and release. Good. Can you get a little more body into it? So try to push your back leg and release forward. Yeah, good. After I drop, I'm really gonna push this back leg, and that's gonna propel my entire body over. So I'm here. Push the back, load and push that back leg and release up. There it is. Oh, straight beam, that's good. That didn't even move. It moved through like a football. That was good. The hardest thing about the serve is coordination. Yeah. You have to coordinate the toss and the hitting arm, but you also have to coordinate the upper and the lower body. Yeah. So a lot of players, they struggle to keep the same swing while they're jumping. Like it's like as soon as you jump, the arms start doing whatever, right? Yeah. So that's why we work on this first, and then we add the legs after. Next up, can you get 3 fingers? Yeah, this just forces you to be loose. And then I want you to get 2 balls here, and you're gonna try to do it in one motion, 2 swings. So you're gonna be here in one motion. So without stopping the racket, just go through. So 1, 2, like that, and just keep going like that. We call this the infinity swing.
Okay.
Yeah, good. Now the goal of this drill is to get rid of any hitches in the motion. So So what's happening is you're coming up here and it's stopping just a little bit. So make sure you relax your arm here and pull the elbow up a little bit earlier. Good, all the way, pull it up. Good. Now, when we say elbow up, this cue elbow up, what we're trying to get is a mixture of your arm going up, but it's actually more importantly, your shoulder going up like that. So the shoulder over shoulder motion is where when you load up, your tossing shoulder is above the hitting shoulder. Then when you accelerate, the hitting shoulder rises above the tossing shoulder. And that's important because
this one up, but I don't tend to get this one up.
Exactly. I could generate forward speed by just rotating my body, but in order to get the ball down into the box, it needs to be directed up. And that's why you want this shoulder to be moving upward. Just keep it loose. If it goes out for now, it's okay. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there it is. There it is.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what it should
Now the
like.
difference there was instead of tossing it here, you got a little bit more in front of you.
Yeah.
And that allowed you to plow through. So the keys are pull the elbow up, lead the edge, and then turn the palm out. Yeah, exactly right. This should be a last minute release. So watch, I'm just gonna release. Watch the racket head build up. So it's gonna be slow, slow, and then release.
Yeah.
You see? Now an important note is that we weren't focused on necessarily adding power or swinging fast yet. But just by focusing on building efficiency and fluidity in his swing, he started to add a few extra miles per hour. 87.
Nice.
Nice, yeah. Like the sound's different already. Next up, we still had to further refine Tate's racket drop and upward swing in order to add more consistency and make it even more effortless.
What do you think about when you're like trying to think about accelerating that? You just think from here, just like pushing?
That's actually a great question. I think of it as a pull. And the reason why is when you push something, the object is in front of you. So if you push your racket, then you won't actually lag it behind, which means there's less distance for the racket to accelerate. So you want to pull your butt cap up. So we're pulling the elbow, we're pulling the butt cap, then we're pulling the edge, and only at the last second do we release. It's never really a pushing motion, it's a pull and a release. So that's gonna be the key here is can you really relax your arm when you get here? Can you relax here and focus on pulling the elbow, lead the elbow up and let the racket lag as much as you can. The racket drop is made up of the shoulder rotating back and the body rotating forward. That's really what we're trying to learn here. Let's start off learning the racket drop by isolating external shoulder rotation, because this is really the key to getting a deep racket drop position. Yeah, like the throw, exactly. So I want you to stand maybe a foot away from the fence. Without moving your arm, I want you to rotate the shoulder until the racket tip touches the fence. Exactly, just do that. So think racket tip forward, now racket tip is driving back to the left. When you're here, the racket is actually traveling to the left initially, like that. So let's piece it together with the full racket drop. And then this time, as you drive this racket tip back behind you, pull your elbow up, pull the elbow up. And what this will cause is it'll cause your body to rotate. And what you should feel is when your body rotates, the racket tip should actually swing back out to the right side. So that part where the racket tip is aligned with the right edge of your torso is called the pro drop position. This is really the end of your racket drop, not when your racket tip's behind you, but when the racket tip swings all the way here. Because watch, now when I extend my elbow, I'm on edge, and now I can rotate and snap back in.
So with these drills, Tate started to get a deeper and more relaxed racket drop, and this helped him to reach that on-edge position, and once we went back to serving, he was able to start ramping up his acceleration.
So we had the contact point here. To build in the contact, I want to do a drill called a stop and pop. So you're here. After you hit, I want you to just stop your arm above your head and have your palm facing out to the right side. Let's alternate. Let's do one where you're slamming it against the ground and then going forward. So it's gonna be like this. So one is here and then one is forward, like that.
Okay.
One against the ground. Good.
Still had a weird slice on it.
A little bit. There you go. So the goal of this drill is to feel that releasing of the racket. Because if you take your entire arm through, it's like if you had a whip and you didn't ever decelerate. You want the hand to decelerate and then snap through. There you go. Release all the way up. There you go. And then turn the palm all the way out. Nice.
Yeah, that was more above my hitting shoulder.
Yeah. Good.
Now when you're doing this drill, pay close
nice.
attention to how your contact point feels and sounds instead of where the ball is going. Once you learn how to trust in your swing, relaxation will come naturally and you'll be able to start finally getting into more advanced rallies like this.
Oh, nice. What? But of course, we weren't done just yet. We still needed to further refine Tate's contact point and get that full kinetic chain activation before we could break through to that 100 mile per hour mark. So stay tuned for day 2, where we focus on perfecting that tossing action and contact point. And if you've enjoyed Tate's serve transformation so far, then you are going to love our brand new program, the 5.0 Serve. You see, over the past few years, we've been dedicated to figuring out the science of world-class serves and turning them into simple, intuitive techniques and drills that anyone can follow. And in doing so, we've helped hundreds of players at anywhere from 10 to 20 miles per hour to their serve achieve elite level consistency and finally develop that effortless, pain-free swing that we all long for. So if you're serious about taking your game to that next level and you want to start hitting the most powerful, consistent, and pain-free serves of your life, then click the button on this page and I cannot wait to see you inside.